Hello everyone, welcome to Gcentric. So we'll continue with the next problem. Okay, so we have to find Ix. So Ix is here, dependent source we have 2Ix and its hint is over here. So first we will calculate for the 10 volt. Okay, so for 10 volt we will keep that as it is. Okay, so here it will be Ix1, this is 2 ohms. This will be open circuit. Okay, current source will be open. Then we have 1 ohm. Then we have got voltage source 2Ix. Okay, so now this is 10 volt. Okay, I can to calculate this Ix1. So this is polarities, right? So I can apply KVL in this one. So when applying KVL, what you will get if it is in this direction? 10 volt minus 2Ix1 minus Ix1 minus 2, this is also Ix1 will be equal to 0. So this is 10 minus 2, 4, 5. If you take it that side, it will be Ix1 will be equal to 2 amperes. Okay, so this was one thing. We have calculated Ix1. Next, we will take 3 amperes as active. So what will happen to this circuit? This will be short. So this is Ix2, right? So now if we take in this direction, this will be plus and this will be minus. Here also it is plus and minus. So 3 ampere current is coming here, Ix2 current is coming here. So at this node, if the current direction is in this way, then it will be 3 plus Ix2, right? Now I can apply KVL in this outer loop. Okay, so this thing will be, okay, I'll rub this one. We have got Ix2 as 2 amperes, sorry, Ix1 as 2 amperes. Okay, I'll write it here. Ix1 is 2 amperes. Okay, so now to calculate this one, I am applying KVL. Minus 2 Ix2, this is minus 3 plus Ix2, and this is minus 2 Ix2 equal to 0, right? Minus 2 is minus 4 Ix2 minus 3. Okay, if it goes on other side, it will be plus 3, right? So this is Ix2 will be equal to minus 3 by 5 amperes. So now if I add total, Ix will be 2 minus 3 by 5, which comes out to be 7 by 5 amperes. Okay, it was easy problem. Next, coming to this one, we have to find the missing voltage. So here second, third and fourth. Okay, so we have given Vs and V0, that is 12 and 4. Okay, so we have V1, okay, we will take it as V2, okay, according to the number. So we have got V2 as 16 volts, but we do not know what is Vs2. To calculate that, we have already seen the scaling factor. So to come from 4 to 16, we have to multiply into 4. So 4 into 4 is 16. So if it has to be 16 over here multiplying by 4, then at the input side also we have to multiply by 4. Okay. So we will get 4 into 12 is 48 volts. Okay. So now this thing is done. We will erase this one. Next we have to calculate here. So now we have at the input side 1 volt, we have to find the output side. So to get this as 1 volt, it has to be multiplied by 1 by 12. Similarly here also we will multiply by 1 by 12. So here you will get it as 1 by 3 volts. So now I will rub this one. Coming to the last one, at the output we have got V04 as minus 2 volts. Okay, we have to find Vs4. Okay, so this is again multiplication of plus minus half, sorry, right, minus 1 by 2. Okay, because we have got minus sign here. Similarly for this 12 also we will multiply by 1 by 2. So we will get as minus 6 volts, right? Now we will come to 6th problem, which is same. Here it was voltage and we have got current now. So we have to find this one. Okay, I'll rub this 5th problem. So consider this linear circuit. Okay, it can be any linear circuit. We have V1, V2 and current I. So we have to calculate this current I. Now first is V1, V2 is 0. So next V1 is 0, then V2 is we are getting some value, right? So it is nothing but the superposition theorem problem. Okay, because once we are short circuiting V2, then second time we are short circuiting V1. Okay, so here also if you see it is 2 and 0.5, right? And here we have got 10 and we have to find first I1. Okay, for the when V1 is active. When V1 is active. Okay, we have to find I1. So by how much scale it is multiplied? Into 5, right? 2 times 5 will get it as 10. Here also we will multiply by 5. So we will get 2.5. So this is I1. Now to calculate I2, we have V2 as 5 and I as minus 1. And we have got this as minus 5. We have to find I2, right? So to come to 5 to minus 5, what is the scaling factor? It is minus 1. Okay. So when we have multiplied minus 1, here also we have to multiply by minus 1. So minus 1 into minus 1, we will get it as 1 ampere. So what will be the net current? When this was when V2 is active. Okay, V1 will be short circuited. So that is why we are getting 0 here. So I net is nothing but 2.5 plus 1, that is 3.5 amperes. Okay, so the answer for this question is 3.5 amperes. Right. So next there is one more problem left. We will see that 6th question. Okay, so it is the problem of different frequencies. Okay, coming to this 7th question, which was asked in GATE 2015 electrical branch. So in the circuit shown, the average value of the VAB in volts in steady state condition is. So now if you observe the circuit carefully, you have AC source as well as DC source. Okay, so we will follow the same procedure for the superposition theorem. So now there is one node point. Okay, so that node point is that you have got different frequencies. For DC source we do not have any frequency will be 0, but for AC we have got 5000, right? Okay, so that is the frequency. Okay, now we have got two different types of frequencies. So when two different frequencies are available, okay, two different frequencies are available, then solve this problem. Such problems can only be solved with the help of superposition theorem. Okay, you cannot apply any other theorem or basic solving techniques or anything, but you have to apply superposition theorem. Okay, so whenever two different frequencies are given, we will apply superposition theorem. Okay, so now first we will consider 5 volt as active. Okay, 5 volt is active. It means that this is short circuit. Okay, so we have resistor. So how does capacitor behave when DC is given? It behaves like a open circuit. Okay, then how does inductor behave? It behaves like a short circuit. Okay, so this is 5 volt. So what was this one? 2 kilo ohms. Now this is BA. Okay, so we have to calculate VAB. So this is minus plus, and this is 1 kilo ohm. Since it is open circuit, we have got 0 ampere current flowing in this one, right? So we will move, but voltage will be present, right? We will move in this direction. KVL 5 minus, this is plus, and here we have VAB equal to 0. So VAB is equal to 5 volts. Okay. So now this we have got, so this will be VAB1. Okay, so now I will write this VAB1 here. value of VAB1 as 5 volts. So in this circuit only, next we will take this source as active and this we will short circuit. Okay, so we have to find, if you know the current in the circuit, immediately we can find we know the value of capacitor as 1 microfarad. Okay, so we can calculate this one, that is multiplying with a help of JXL. JXL into I, we will get VAB. Okay, so we have to first find the current in the circuit. How do you find the current in the circuit? Okay, so it is first RMS value. Okay, so to take it's nothing but 5 pi by root 2 angle 0 degree, that is we are taking V by total impedance. Okay, so this is 5 pi by root 2 into 0 degree, the RMS, okay, in terms of polar form. Okay, basically it is 0 degree we are including, right? So why is it 0 degree when it is sine? Because we do not have any other comparing quantities like cos term or sine term, right? Any other sine term is also not there. Otherwise we used to write 0 minus 90 for sine. Okay, if there are sine and cos both in the circuit, then we have to convert both either to sine or cosine, then we will use the phase shift. Okay, now here it is same. So V by R, that is our impedance, right? Impedance of the circuit. So we have 1 plus 2 as 3K whole square plus minus JXL minus JXC, whichever is greater. Okay, so this we will calculate after converting them to ohmic value. Okay, now we can also calculate what will be VAB. It is nothing but I into minus JXC, right? Minus JXC, because it is across the capacitor. Now we have got that one. VAB is nothing but, I can write it as V angle 0 degree, right? V angle 0 degree. That is because for this also 0, this also 0, that is we have only one sine term. Okay, so it will be same. Next they have asked to calculate the average. It is nothing but 1 by t, right? 1 by t integration of time period t of VAB. Substitute the value of that one in this. Okay, to calculate the average, you will get it as 0 volts. Okay, so the average time period you will get it as 0 volts. Okay, in this case you are getting it as 0. So the total net voltage of VAB will be VAB1 plus VAB2, that is 5 plus 0. 5 volt will be the total current which is only contributed by DC source. Okay, so we will see some more problem based on this, and next we will move to the next theorems. Okay, thank you.